Hey, Mrs. Barrington, I just got your message saying that you had a few questions about the contract of sale before you sign that. Yep. Okay, yes, the 5-day statutory cooling off period. Basically, what that means, Mrs. Barrington, is that in the first 5 days of that contract, so from the day you've signed that, from 5 days from the day you signed that, there's a cooling off period, which means you can change your mind and withdraw from that contract. Now, generally, after that 5-day period, you would be responsible for, you could lose your deposit and there could be other issues that could arise. But in that first 5 days, you can cancel the contract with you would be liable for 0.25% of the offer price, that sale price. So if your offer is that $750, in that first 5 days, if you did withdraw from the contract, you would be liable to pay $1,875, which, that's that 0.25%. Yep. Yeah, it just protects you, so you can withdraw that, but the owner still doesn't lose out from other potential sales by claiming that 0.25%. Yep. Yes, so the deposit is held by our agency. So we have a special trust account. Exactly. Yep, so once you make that payment, it'll go into our trust account. We'll give you a receipt and confirm that all of that's in there. That deposit will stay in our trust account until the sale has gone through, until day of settlement. So once settlement occurs and we're told by the seller's solicitor or lawyer that everything is good to go, we take that deposit and we pay that to the sellers. To the sellers, so the Strix. They would take that deposit. We, however, take our fees and commission from that amount. Yep, so the final amount that you're paid is the $750 minus the deposit amount. That's right. Insurance, that is a very good question. I definitely encourage you to get insurance to cover the property in between the sale. Exactly right. You just want to protect yourself from, Queensland, we're prone to have a few weather events every now and again, so it just protects you so that there isn't any damage to the property that is uncovered that you then have to pay for. Exactly. Definitely, a lot of insurance companies offer a free insurance period over that period of time. If you can't find it, I know a lot of companies do it for free, but even if you have to pay, do it. It just gives you that extra layer of protection over that period of time, because the seller's insurance may not cover it because of the sale, or they may not go through insurance to claim an event. So it's good for you to have that on your end. Of course, finance. It's very standard to have a 14-day clause in there, a condition in there for finance. So basically, if you can't obtain finance during that 14 days, the sale doesn't go ahead. You aren't liable for any. That's right. No, not even that 0.25%. None of it. It will fail. The contract fails, and then the seller would have to go find new. Is finance going okay? Oh, good. Okay, another question. Unconditional. When it goes unconditional, what that means is that all the conditions of the agreement have been met. So if there's a standard is that pest and building clause for 14 days and the finance clause and that cooling off period. So once the cooling off period is passed, the finance has gone through, you're happy with the pest and building, the sale then goes unconditional. So during that unconditional period, what that does is it gives your lawyer and the bank time to deal with all the processing of the paperwork, the behind the scenes stuff, so that the sale can be processed. Yeah, exactly. There is a lot of work that goes on behind that. So the bank gets ready to pay stuff. The lawyers, your lawyers, the seller's lawyers have to, get all the appropriate paperwork, do all the right, things legally. Exactly. On settlement day, well, Mrs. Barrington, good news for you is there actually isn't anything you need to do on settlement day. We, the agent, the buyer, the seller, don't generally attend. It's usually the lawyers, so your lawyer or solicitor and the seller's lawyer or solicitor get together. They make sure everything is all in order, all the correct paperwork has been signed. If everything is good to go, your solicitor will let you know that settlement has been finalized. exactly. Once we have that notification from the seller solicitor that it's all good to go ahead, I'll give you a call and we'll arrange for you to get those keys from us to your new home. What happens if you can't settle on settlement date? It's a good question. It's always good to know exactly. If there is an issue and it doesn't meet any of those preconditions, then there are a few things that could happen. So if you need to delay settlement for any reason, you can put in a written request, or your lawyer can put in a request to the seller's lawyer to say, hey, I can't meet settlement for whatever reason. Can we extend that? So that we can, if both lawyers, sellers and buyer agree to a mutually extending that period, then that can happen. If you can't, if no one does agree, then what could happen is that there are grounds for the seller to claim the entire deposit, as essentially compensation for not being able to be on the market for that period of time. And there is, depending on the reason for not going ahead, could be grounds for them to take it further and sue, essentially. Sue for lost damages, exactly. No, and our experience is that for the most part, as long as it's reasonable and not very long, that settlement can be extended slightly. But it's best to not have that happen. So to work with finance and everything now, so that on settlement day everything goes smoothly. Was that all your questions? Wonderful. Perfect. Well, we'll fill that out. Again, get independent legal advice if you need to. If you feel like you've got a few extra questions about, what could happen that I haven't answered for you, and I'm more than happy to answer any other questions you might have. Wonderful, Mrs. Barrington. Have a great day. Bye.